Hi, Dr. Second Chance here, talking about self care. I just had an experience where I avoided going to the dentist for like a year and a half. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't having pain or any problems at all, but I do have type 2 diabetes and I knew better and I should have gone in. And this is always one of the challenges of people uh, before recovery and during recovery, and even when you're well into recovery. It's just so easy to neglect really important things that affect your health. And some of it was the dentist office was closed during COVID. I just kind of missed like when it reopened. So I was thinking about that. Why do people not go to the dentist? Oh, and as an aside, I'm really glad that I went, as I had two cavities and some worsening of some gum disease. And I got all that taken care of and some deep cleanings and things that ended up being more expensive than I had hoped. But had I gone in sooner, maybe the costs would have been a little lower as problems would have been taken care of sooner. So, anyway, so like, why don't you go to the dentist? Why don't I go to the dentist? What are some reasons why people don't go to the dentist? Well, one of them is fear. And I didn't realize just how many people are really afraid of going to the dentist. Sometimes it's a fear of needles. Who wants to be jabbed with a needle? Sometimes it's the fact that there are certain smells and sounds like the drill, woo, that bring fear. Uh, a lot of people have had a traumatic experience with a dentist in the past, and they remember of time, maybe as a kid, where they were held down and forced to get a injection or things like that. But regardless, fear of going to the dentist really creates a lot of problems, because the the more you're afraid and you don't deal with it, excuse me, the longer you go and avoid not going, and the more that results in problems going longer that become more complex to fix and more expensive to fix. And the more complex the problem is, that may actually involve, a mildly amount of pain. The anesthetic techniques and nerve blocks and stuff are really good. And so, for the most part, most of the discomfort can be really kept down pretty low. And then, if the situation is worse, and it's going to be more expensive, that further makes you not want to go to the dentist. And this kind of cycle just keeps going round and round, and it's a problem. And so, one of the ways, some people have dental phobia, and that actually have some pretty bad anxiety, and may need even some therapy or counseling or sedation, some medications, just to really help them relax so that they can go to the dentist and get this stuff taken care of. Because the bad news is, things that are just left fester, so to speak, just continue to get worse. It's not like they just will correct without any intervention. They get worse. And so it's so important to figure out, um, telling a dentist, what your challenges are, and helping come up with solutions so you can do this. Another thing that I've personally dealt with a little bit, and I've seen as well, is some people deal with a sense of shame. I haven't flossed, I haven't brushed, my teeth are now yellow, I haven't been in, and I really don't want to show them what a crappy job I've done taking care of myself. I'm embarrassed. I feel like I'm going to be judged. I know I have not done what I'm supposed to do, and I know better. And there's sort of a sense of guilt and shame. And to a very small degree, those kinds of feelings, at least feeling guilty about your behavior, not necessarily shame, but feeling guilty about your behavior can be good because that can motivate you to do better in the future, to a small extent. But again, the intellectual part of it is that when you have problems with gum disease or cavities, they just get worse. They do not get better on their own. Now, another reason, and I'm guilty of this as well, is hey, I don't have any symptoms. I don't have any dental pain. My gums aren't bleeding. I got no problem. I just don't, why should I take time off work and my busy day? I got other things to do to try and get in to see the dentist. And excuse me. And in general medicine, we call this idea of getting a checkup, even though you have no symptoms, screening. That's why they'll say, okay, when you're 45 or 50 or whatever year they use, they want you to get a colonoscopy. Well, what if I don't feel like I've got any bowel troubles? Well, we just know a certain number of people develop colon cancer or polyps that cause colon cancer without feeling bad at all, and so we go looking for them because if we find them, we can treat them very early and prevent someone from getting full-blown cancer, or at least if we catch it earlier, a chance for a much better recovery. Yeah, so that's another reason. So the CDC says go every 6 months. My dentist tells me that because I have type 2 diabetes and there's a whole host of problems that can go along with that, that I really need to be coming in, even if I'm feeling all right, to at least get a quick check every 3 months. Now, what about, oh, I forgot. It's just not on I don't put it on my to-do list. Um, Part of self-care and recovery and self-care in general is putting things on your list that you need to be responsible for your health and your well-being, and you can't count on family or friends to do it. Sorry, getting over a little cold here. um so yeah, you need to write it in and make the appointments yourself. um and I failed the last year and a half doing that, and I'm going to do better. I've already gone in a bunch of times, got the problems taken care of. Finally, money can be a cost. The dentists can be expensive out of pocket. There aren't as many dental insurance plans, but there are some private carriers and some out there that offer some pretty good deals. I saw that my dentist just recently offered some sort of like a you pay $300 a year and it includes a certain number of cleanings and certain kinds of other dental work at discounts and stuff. And so there may be plans available. And of course, I know this really sucks, but you might need to, regularly budget some money in a separate account or an envelope or whatever for going to the dentist. One last concern that people had during COVID was, hey, if I go to the medical office or the dental office, am I going to get sick there? Am I going to be exposed to other people with COVID getting treatment? And I think that was a concern that we went through, but I think that problem now is pretty much done. So there's some reasons after I failed to go to the dentist, that people don't go. Fear of going to the dentist, shame, not having any symptoms, just not thinking about it because it just doesn't seem to be a big priority because you don't have a toothache, and no money and safety. So I hope that helps. I encourage you to get to the dentist, get your teeth checked out and worked on. And I want you to have a great weekend and a great week. I'm Dr. Second Chance. We'll see you next time.